15 years ago, Paragon was one of the only recruiting firms in Des Moines to focus solely on information technology talent. Today, there are more people employed in IT and more opportunities to fill. The opportunities vary, but one trait many have in common is the demand for an IT pro with a nose for business.
It's not necessarily the person that can write the fastest code, it's the person that can understand the core root of the business problem and come up with the best solution to solve that. Because what you're asking for might not be what you want, and a great IT professional knows the difference and will work hard to get at truly what's the underlying concern that needs to be addressed.
Pure tech jobs will continue to be the traditional jobs you see today. Systems people, network people, database people. I think the jobs that are going to be in high demand tomorrow are folks that have a semi-deep understanding of technology, that can dive in the weeds if they absolutely need to, but otherwise their knowledge is more general.
Companies, whoever they are, software development companies, are creating products that are doing things that programmers used to do. So, and it's not going to replace software development by any stretch, but every business has to wrestle with what am I going to buy versus what am I going to build.
Since 1997, the trend in IT opportunities has shifted from network to development. The rise of mobile and social media have created job titles that didn't exist 5 years ago, let alone 15.
I think a lot of that is driven by the end consumer. I mean, everybody has computers and smartphones now, and companies need to improve their online presence. Not just having a website like 10 or so years ago, but being able to interact more and deliver more higher level kinds of services.
People with they can do a lot of things and have a diverse set of digital skills that can function in marketing or PR, but also be smart enough to just know how to do simple things like understanding how RSS feeds work or understanding best practices behind Twitter. We call it high digital IQ or digital literacy, and just having that I think makes people really employable.
We have actually had a great success rate at CDS Global working with our older generation of programmers and training them on some of the newer technology around Magento and PHP, and that has been a great success. So I would take that message down to the younger generation of don't close yourself off. Always keep yourself learning, always be open to new ideas, because you never know what the next great thing is going to be. And so as long as you're in that continuous motion of learning, then you're well positioned for your career.
Technology has allowed entrepreneurs to hang a shingle at a lower cost, creating business hubs like Silicon 6th in Des Moines.
Contrary to popular belief, you actually do make money, you do have benefits, only you have a more flexible schedule, you're part of something, you're working on something that's bigger than yourself. And it's a lot of motivation to wake up and do your best work.
5-10 years ago was completely different. I can think back to needing new SQL servers at WorldCom and talking 8 processor servers and tens of thousands of dollars and licensing behind it. That's not realistic for a startup. Now you have Amazon, you have Rackspace, you have the different places that you can do those sorts of things. Microsoft works with companies way more than what they used to with BizSpark and those sorts of programs to help get you off the ground and prove that your crazy idea is realistic.
But definitely we're seeing a lot of developers go back and forth. You're seeing people get poached from large corporations to startups because they like the excitement, where maybe it's not as much money, but they like having ownership over building something. And then you're seeing other people make a name for themselves in startups, and a John Deere or a principal will come and pull them away. So it goes back and forth.